Sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stocked up here. I couldn't get Jack Nicholson to do the intro, but you get the idea. So the current fad topic seems to be that dealers don't want your gold or silver. There are a few videos out there telling us that their local shop isn't buying, and sometimes a sample of one or two can feel a lot more indicative of an overall picture than it really is. Now, if you think about it, the spot price of both metals is spiked, with gold setting a new all-time high, and that tells us three things. First, dealers were probably buying new inventory at higher prices, and then we have the buyers. Well, fewer people were probably buying and more people were probably selling. It really only makes sense that smaller dealers might be heavy on inventory and they might not be ready to buy more at the moment. And none of that should come as a surprise, and none of that should be seen as the new normal. I would just say there are a few takeaways. Now, a big one is that this situation is always possible, and a local business like a local coin shop, well, they're going to be the most impacted. It's easy to buy online and it's easy to sell locally. And if you put that together, well, a local shop could quickly become a magnet for sellers at a time when buyers are holding out, particularly in a volatile market. And right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. We need to look at a chart to see what's been happening. Over the course of the year, we've seen a 10% jump in the spot price of gold. And if we stop there, it would seem like a great positive clip. 2023 started the year off around 1820, but we don't have to look far to see some of the crazy stuff. If we went back just over a year ago, spot was $1,620. So we can see a 25% climb in about 13 months. Now, inside 2023, and even just in the past few months, we saw a run to 2050 in May. We saw a 10% fall from there to 1820 in October, and now we've seen a 10% spike since then. So it's not normal volatility, and that's very likely going to do strange things to inventory. So I mentioned earlier a sample size of 2 or 3. Well, let's add a few more. I called 2 local shops and I spoke with SD Bullion about this in person. And from those conversations, I'd say a few things. First is that this is very likely just a blip. It's the holidays, more people probably need money for gifts, and that's going to exaggerate the situation. Another is that there are always shops bigger than your local dealer. Just keep that in mind. But back to this topic of dealers not wanting your gold and silver again, first of all, let's not call that a universal situation, but my local shops, they didn't say they're not buying, but I will say they know me. I didn't call in anonymously, and to a certain extent, they know that I have the types of things that they sell the most of, the Eagles, the Buffaloes, the Maples, so I'm not a gold is gold guy. I'm not going to bring in weird things. I didn't press them, though, on how much they'd take at the moment, but I know that I can sell the popular coins, especially to the large dealers, just about any time. Now, as for selling to small dealers or selling the unpopular items, well, this is really just something to be aware of. If you've watched this channel for any period of time, this is probably already in your head because I've said it over and over. There are buyers markets, and if you're a seller in those markets, you want the most popular items. The bigger message, though, is that this is probably just a blip. Gold looks like it's going to remain strong through 2024 and further. That's based on economic conditions and this reversal of Fed policy. So you might not be able to sell at the front end of a price spike, at least not locally, but you have other options. It's just good to plan around. So if your goal is to play gold or silver as a trade, well, physical, it just isn't going to be the way to go anyway. I bring this whole thing up because we have a new sentiment in the community that gold and silver maybe aren't wanted because a local dealer here or there is upside down on inventory. But look, the gold bulls are out. Gold is hot. It isn't the other way around. So if you're concerned about a tighter market, well, don't buy random cheap gold. And if you're buying expensive ultra high relief coins like this, well, just know you're probably selling them on eBay. Now, I don't ever have to worry about it because I'll never sell this coin, but I think it's a good rule of thumb to not buy anything until you know exactly how you might sell it. That way you don't have to worry about this whole thing in the first place. Okay, so let's call it good there. Let us know what you think. If you've noticed the case of local inventory, or maybe you're just taking advantage of all the deals. ST Bullion has great deals on a number of things. I've seen American Silver Eagles, Gold Krugs, Random Quarters. That's the upside of being in a buyer's market, even with spot continuing to inch up. Let us know what you think. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit that like button if you found any of this interesting. Be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.